been a minute. It's been a minute since I've gotten really raw with you. Like, if you ask my Bozeman office years ago, every Tuesday, I mean, I would get really, really emotional, not screaming, not crying, not doing anything like that. It was just like, I want you guys to know where my heart's at. And I want you to know today where my heart is at. So there's a saying, no matter how thin you slice it, there's always two sides. No matter how thin you slice it, there's always two sides. And you're probably wondering, like, Jeff, what in the world are you talking about right now? Well, so this past weekend, my wife and I, we were experiencing some stuff, and I'll just sort of leave it at that. And it's nothing that's directly, I mean, I shouldn't say it is definitely impacting Kelsey and I, but not necessarily in a way that you might think. But there's decisions that are made that directly affect us. And so you go through life and you become a punching bag from time to time. You just don't really say anything. And you're just like, hey, listen, I'm not making a mountain out of a molehill. Like, let's just move on, put it behind you, move on. Because at the end of the day, what's the one thing we're in complete control over? That's how we perceive ourselves. I can't determine how Teresa's going to explain to me X, Y, Z. I can't let her, if she had ill feelings, I hope you do not, Teresa, towards me, like, affect my day to day. Like, I am set to do this, 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 and this. And I'm not going to let anyone derail me from that. However, at some point in your life, you just have to say something. Because at the end of the day, when one person comes to you and says, this is what I've heard, and you've sat back long enough. So I liken it to, all right, Kelsey lost out on a fairly large transaction, and it had nothing to do with her. But the reality is, you just like, well, what in the hell happened, right? You want to know the other side. Like, how can I learn? If that's your approach, right? How can I learn from this mistake or this failure or this, hey, is it just circumstantial? It doesn't really matter. Like, how can I get better? How can I make an impact that is going to be a positive one within our lives? So no matter how thin you slice it, there's always two sides. So if we're being honest and we're looking in the mirror saying, all right, did I do everything possible in order to get from point A to point B? Because in my heart of hearts, this is what I wanted for that person or this family or that couple, whatever. And so this past weekend, we get some news that you're just like, no, this is not a good thing. This is something that is the easy way. And I'm not an easy guy. And in my simple brain, I think of two people. There's two types of people. One who's going to show up every single day, do the hard stuff. Two, I'm just looking for the easy way out, the quickest way, the shiny object, all the things. This route was that. They had an opportunity to take the actual approach, the right approach, the every single day approach. But as we procrastinated and kicked the can down the road, we simply ran out of runway. We ran out of runway. So now, in order to right an even bigger wrong, you have to make a very, very drastic decision. And that's when we got this pushback. That's when we got this blowback. That's when we had our character question. And if there's one thing we're in all control over, is how we show up every single day. And so when I'm questioned or when my integrity is questioned from some outside source, that's when I get a little fired up, because that is the one thing I'm in complete control over every single day. Now, I know this isn't your typical mindset. This was something, I mean, it is, I'm shaking over here. If you can't hear it in my voice, if you can't physically see me shake, I mean, I'm that upset and emotional about this whole thing, because we do know someone has made a really, really poor decision, and they're letting a lot of people down. They're letting a ton of people down. I can't control that, but how I can control, what I can control, is simply me showing up every single day, knowing that I am doing something in my head, whether it's wrong, correct, whatever. I'm showing up every single day with the intention of making a positive impact in everyone's life. There's a reason this mug says, wake up, kick ass, change lives, repeat, because that is exactly what we do every single day. So, I had to get that off my heart. I had to get that off my chest. This is probably one that will not get posted, and I get it. But I needed this to get off my chest. Like 100%. Guys, The moral of the story is simply, you can't control what other people think, say, or feel about you. But all you can do is simply prove them wrong every single day by you showing up consistently, not taking the easy way, going through the muck, going through the mud, going through the ish, if you will. I kept the PG for you there, Teresa. And just simply showing up every single day, doing the hard stuff. Do not take the easy way. Please. Do yourself that one thing. You can't control anything else except how you show up every single day. That's all I got.